Well, hello, boys and girls. It's when I feel like at o'clock. I'm Pearlo Wisdom, and you're listening to my NHL Pearls of Wisdom. I'm coming to you from Helen's place, who gracefully, allows me to use her facilities here. Helen is a little lady I met in the hallway. Where I normally live, I mean, where I always live is a place where there's so many people around. It's just impossible to do videos there unless I use the bathroom, which I used to do. And you can go back in the videos and see that, because you know why? Nothing is stopping me from doing what I love. And what I love to do is talk about hockey and converse with you. Had a little problem, had to downsize about a month ago, and that's why I'm in there. Happened to meet Helen. She has just wonderfully allowed me to use these facilities here. We have Fred. I didn't have the plants in yesterday. Maybe that's affected the energy of the pics a little bit, but actually they weren't that bad. And what's happening are people are hitting the subscribe button, and I'm sending Pearls of Wisdom necklaces to all people who do, by the way. If you hit the subscribe and the bell and comment on the bottom, I get my faithful assistant Melissa to jump in the helicopter. I send her with a box of Pearls of Wisdom necklaces, and she heads off her way to all the areas of the world and sends off the Pearls of Wisdom necklaces. So be sure to do that. Okay. So we've been hitting like fantastic the last little while. Yesterday was but there was money to be made if you were listening to the videos. No doubt about that. Yesterday with the Sabres and the Preds, for instance, good example. I had the Sabres winning. Didn't even know Darlene was going to be in net. I definitely would have been much more bullish about that game had I known. You're getting plus money for the Sabres, and they won 4-3. That was a fantastic bet, I would say. By the way, Namasté. I got to clean this probably soon. It's getting a little ripe, but Namasté anyways. That means I connect with your divine, and we do. I feel it. I feel the connection. Lightning versus Boston. Things are starting to come together with the Lightning. I still think they're going to make the playoffs. Boston's energy, it seems like they were working on this. I said yesterday that their energy was off and that they were tense, that they were fighting their game. And I think that had a lot to do with this road trip was maybe over-prepared. They were over-prepared for this road trip. They're not flowing. To me, I think that Cassidy was overemphasizing this road trip, and they're playing like it. So we won on that. We made some pearls doing that. The big one, though, my play of the day yesterday was the Islanders versus the Panthers. I still haven't got any information as to why the Islanders were plus money yesterday against the Panthers, but I would have been putting huge pearls on the Islanders on that game. The Panthers have looked in disarray all year. I've now given up on them. I feel it's my one pick to make the playoffs from the beginning of the year that isn't going to make it, and I really don't know what they're going to do. I stated yesterday that my feeling was Bobrovsky was causing some energy issues there, and I think that's the case. By the way, I have my picks for today going to be coming at the end of this video, so listen in. Keep on listening to the end, as the YouTubers like to say. Jackets and the Pens. This is another one you would have won if you would have went either way. I picked the Pens to win, but I also said that Columbus, if you took Columbus in the points on the safe pick, you would have won. Either way, you would have won. The Jets. Now, the Jets losing to Detroit, that's like the big news, right? If you look at my video yesterday, I said if Detroit was going to win, this was the one that they were going to win. Why? Because they're playing the Jets back to back. I didn't mention something else about that, which I wish I would have. The Jets spanked them pretty good last time. So there was a good chance that they were going to take them lighter this time. Seems like that's what they did. Also, Detroit had an advantage of just playing the Jets. So they could have did a lot of video on where their weaknesses are, which is obviously defense. And they pressured the defense, and they happened to win. The reason why I couldn't have taken the Jets yesterday was Hellebuyck. Hellebuyck didn't have an off day, but it wasn't like his stellar, crazy games that he's been having this year. So they happened to pull it through. I wouldn't have bet that game anyways because you're not getting much juice on that. So we probably didn't lose any money there, did we? No. Blues versus the Golden Knights. This is one these are the things that that annoy me about hockey. Sundqvist was not in all the way up into game time, and then they put him in. There's no way I take the Golden Knights, even with Fleury in net, if Sundqvist is going to be in. Sundqvist is probably, I say Manson's maybe the most underrated player in the league. Maybe Sundqvist is right there with him. He's one of the best defensive centers in the game, period. And when the Blues have him, they have an advantage over other teams that there just simply isn't players like Sundqvist on other teams very much. With the rest of their team that they have and the depth that they have, they are almost unstoppable. It's a fantastic advantage to have a guy like Sundqvist. So, and the other part is the Golden Knights have come down to reality this year. And if you watch my videos before the season, I said that I had the Golden Knights as a bubble team this year. And that was the reason why. They were running off crazy emotion about being the first team or being new in the league. And they also had the advantage, and this is a true advantage. When the people were going through Vegas, they were partying. There's no doubt about it. And you can be sure as shit that was only going to last a year or maybe two. And now the coaches are like, okay, watch what these guys are doing when we hit Vegas. And now they're upstream. It doesn't look like they're going to make the playoffs, even with the stellar goaltending of Vegas. Flames versus the Leafs. I said fade. I leaned to the Flames, and the Flames won, but we wouldn't have bet that. Blackhawks versus, this one's the one that got me. I looked really bad yesterday on this one. I said if Lehner was in net, take Chicago and the points and you'd be okay. Chicago looks horrible. I watched that game yesterday. They look terrible. Bad pick, simple as that. I really don't, I probably won't be picking Chicago much for the rest of the season. It's a sad state of affairs there in Chicago. Canes versus the Canucks. Canes totally outplayed them that game. They outshot them 2-1, outpossessed them, out everything, just couldn't score on Markstrom, and they lost 1-0. Ducks versus the Kings. I wouldn't have bet this game anyways because you were getting no juice. Ducks did outplay the Kings again. Just so happens Quick, good for the LA Kings. Quick is playing very well all of a sudden. They might be able to get something for him. And the Rangers and San Jose Sharks. I did pick the Rangers. I didn't think coaching change was going to change much. San Jose's goaltending is just no good. So for today's games, we have Jersey versus the Avs and Knights versus the Stars. Avs over all day. New Jersey just, I mean, if they win this game, it's like 20% chance they win this game. As long as Hall's still in that lineup and that energy is what he's creating there, and I do believe that's what it is, I don't think Jersey wins too many games. I certainly can't pick him against an Avs team. As of right now, they're saying Grubauer might be back. Even that makes it even more so. But Francouz, that's how you say it apparently, Francouz, is playing extremely well as well. I'm taking the Avs here, and I'm taking them like 5-2. I didn't even look at the numbers. I know you're getting like -2 on this, but you might as well take it. Knights versus the Stars. Subban in net. there's a chance the Knights could win this game. I would personally put Fleury right back in again. Then you have a possibility of winning this game. I had a letter from Larissa Quagmire from Alaska. Awesome. I don't think I've had an Alaska one before. She's asking, what happened to the Knights? What's going on with the Knights? Well, I just mentioned a little bit of it. Also, their defense you have McNabb and Schultz as your best defensemen. That over time, that just can't keep on going like that. And it's starting to show. It's starting to come out in their play that they just don't have a good enough defense. Playing against a Stars team that is solid defensively, just had a coaching change for reasons that are kind of odd, but I don't think it's going to change the flow of their game. You would normally take an under here. However, the Knights are on a back-to-back. They had a disappointing night last night. Subban is in net, I think. If Subban's in net, you might want to lean to the over if they're only giving you 5.5 or 6. And the Stars. Make some money back from last night since they're giving us these easy games today. Joe Johnson mentioned, why so many games last night and so little games today? I have no idea. I wish they would even out the a little more. Who was Richie Rich? Look in the comment section from yesterday. He picked the over for the Oilers game. I didn't mention the Oilers game too, by the way. The Oilers game, I said fade. I leaned to the Oilers, but I said as long as Koskinen is in net, and they put Smith in net. As soon as Smith was in net, I was over to the Wild in a heartbeat. So this is the reason why we stay in that comment section, right, boys and girls? Because then we can learn from all these fine prognosticators down there, and they are fine. You watch, you listen to what some of these guys are saying. They've got Joe Johnson and Mantha and Kara and Richie Rich, Ricketts. He comes over and talks every once in a while, but that's some fine programming. By the way, Professor MJ called the Detroit game yesterday. Oh, and so did Richie Rich. He said that because of the overwhelming public percentage and stuff like that, that he said Detroit was going to win. So if you go down there, you're going to find some great stuff. I've got some NFL stuff coming up here right away from Mr. E Money, the finest in the land, for those picks. That'll be my next video. Until then, have a great day. Let's enjoy each other's energy for today. Not many games, so we're just going to swim in the pearls of wisdom energy that is. Have a great day. Lots of love to you.